and welcome on Prime Discourse on Midas Radio 90.5 FM at Ekiti. Prime Discourse is a current affairs, socio-political show where we take a look at critical issues in the polity, issues of interest, issues of concern to the Nigerian people. We also provide a platform to offer solutions to the myriad of challenges we have in the country. We don't just talk about these issues, but to also ensure that those in government circles, critical stakeholders, can have a thing or two to pick from the solutions we offer on this platform for the betterment of our country, Nigeria, and of the Nigerian people. Don't forget, much later on the show, you would have time to join the conversation, to have your say concerning the issue we have on the show this morning. Welcome on Prime Discourse for the week. Ayedun is my name. On Prime Discourse today, our focus would be the state of the nation. As of today, Nigeria has experienced a significant development across the various sectors which need to be reviewed. In the area of security, the Nigerian military has intensified operations against insurgents and criminal elements nationwide with the aim to address the ongoing insurgency in the northeast and tackle armed group activities in the northwest. On the economic front, many of government's efforts are targeting economic expansion, job creation, and exchange rate stability are statistically yielding results, even though many argue that the results are not felt by the people. Of concern is also some issues of public safety, the recent and incessant fatal truck accidents in Nigeria due to the absence of what one might call a railway system for cargo transport. And part of the conversation would also be the electoral reforms, incursion of artificial intelligence into a system, and other sundry issues. My guest today is the Catholic Bishop of Ekiti Diocese, Most Reverend Felix Femi Ajakaye. Good morning, my Lord Bishop. Thank you for joining me on the show.
Good morning, and good morning, listener at home.
Thank you very much. Well, welcome again on the show. The last time I had an engagement with you was May 29, 2023, when Tinubu was sworn in as the president of Nigeria. And of course, that was hours after subsidy was removed. And then I questioned, how are we going to experience this? And then you said we should exercise patience as Nigerians and see how the removal would pan out. Between then and now, what's your assessment of the subsidy removal? Many have said, oh, it has caused pain, it has brought a lot of hardship. But in your own perspective, how have we fared as a nation?
Thank you very much. Somebody once said that today is the anniversary of yesterday. Why tomorrow is the celebration of today? And in Yoruba we say, as is to review 2023 to date.
Yeah.
There can never be a vacuum in any place. We still thank God for who we are and for the situation so far. Nigeria keeps on going. It is an ongoing process. And with the removal of oil subsidy, though we just last week learned that 2023 alone, that the president's statement on that day and the implementation that Nigeria has been able to save from that moment, May 29, 2023, that Nigeria was able to save $10 billion from that. It was records that were given. I had it on the news that we should wait for 2024. Thank God you have my book Beyond Ideas. I once wrote there that I was in support of correct fuel pricing. Because every time we had been pushed here and there that the removal will help us to have quality infrastructure. But the question is, have we fared better? However, as I said earlier on, today is the anniversary of yesterday, while tomorrow is the celebration of today. We are still going on. We've started the second year of the administration. It is very easy, very, very easy to destroy than to build. This is the building time. And all of us are to gather together to build together. Togetherness is the key word now. Rather than looking at the faults most of the times, if not all the times. So, to me and for me, with the states getting more than they were getting before, the question now is, how is the money being spent? If there are some states that are not spending the money that is coming to them more than ever before, then the citizens of such states should ask questions, but not violently. I will still be using this term as the program continues. It is not when Iroko tree is in. It is not when you insult Iroko that Iroko will fight. It's a parable. It's an adage, Yoruba adage. It is not when you insult Iroko that Iroko will fight. Thank you.
All right, let's move on from there. You have mentioned that many states have improved in terms of what they were getting before now, if not all the states.
All the states.
All the states. Marginal, dramatic increments in allocations coming to them. And you also gave a figure, which of course is in public domain, as to what we have been able to save as a result of fuel subsidy. The question now is, we have continued to borrow. As of last week, the Debt Management Office gave 142 trillion naira as the debt of Nigeria. So many are asking, how do we continue to borrow when we are saving more from subsidy removal?
I think it's Delta State that the governor said since 2023 he has not borrowed.
Yes, Delta State.
Delta State. Really, I was shocked when this present administration of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu began to borrow. I think I heard him when he said he was not going to borrow. There is no crime in borrowing.
Right.
But the crime is when one borrows and one squanders the money, or when people don't see what the money is being used for. Is the Bishop Emeritus of the Catholic Diocese of Ekiti, Most Reverend Michael Olatunji Fagun, who says that he doesn't believe in earmark. Earmark, you earmark, you go to the budget, they will say the earmark is the earmark. He says he believes in IMAC. And that's what generally Nigerians want to see. Nigerians want to see action, positive action, quality productivity. If we continue to borrow and we are not seeing what the money is being used for, even the ones that were said $10 billion being saved 2023 as a result of oil subsidy, again, I state, it is not the day you insult Iroko that Iroko will fight.
All right. Yes, one of the successes of this present government is the revival of the refineries. Port Harcourt Refinery, Warrior Refinery, and of course Dangote to fully operational. And many are expecting that with the arrival of these refineries, we should have a marginal drop in the price of petrol, at least for Nigerians. But during Yuletide, we had a drop. It has gone up again. Do you think, going forward, there is a time we might be talking of around 600, 500, or 700 naira?
Nigeria is a blessed country. Very blessed. And I'm very proud to be a Nigerian. I'm very proud. I will still talk about that as time goes on. You will see my green, white, green anywhere I go in the world. It is unfortunate that we are not moving forward as we should. Wherever there is deceit, there is deception in a family, that family tends not to grow both spiritually and physically. There is deception, deceit in the oil sector. And the earlier we act, the better. No matter whose ox is God, we need to do something to that oil sector. Yes, the refineries being revived, then Dangote zone too. In spite of everything, things are still hard. And you are telling people, you are telling me to be patient. When I see you, that you are telling me to be patient, the way you live, you are living, in quote, recklessly. Again, I mark. It is very unfortunate, very, very unfortunate, that we make life difficult for ourselves. I always say that one's best friend is oneself, and one's enemy, one's worst enemy is oneself. That's why Jesus Christ himself tells us, love your neighbor as yourself. You have to love yourself. But as you love yourself, you translate the same love to your neighbor. We don't do that in this country. An average Nigerian tends to make life difficult for the other person. And we keep on saying it's oil, it's oil, it's oil, or the dollar. I love listening to, on Saturday, 9 to 10.
Yes, Eroja.
Eroja. And I was one, and since then I've been telling our people, if I have the opportunity, whenever I have the opportunity, that in a particular place, four pieces of pepper being sold at 200 naira. But the same market, a non-Ekiti person was selling his own, I think 15 or 16 pieces, 200 naira. And the chiefs of that town had to go to the market. And when they went to the market, they asked the people, that is the Ekiti people, who were selling. And they said, now because of dollar. Most of these people might have not seen dollar before. And now we make life difficult for ourselves. So that's why I said, we the people. So if the government, those at the ends of affairs don't care about us, why don't we care about ourselves? Because oil sector is number one problem that is sick now. It's sick. Oil sector is sick, and we need to do real surgical operation, especially with the people who are there. How will the president give an instruction, a directive, and the NNPC is a chairman, they call him, and he doesn't take it. He goes on his own, just like when Major General Muhammadu Buhari was the president. He gave a directive to the Inspector General of Police then to go to Benue and stay there. Was it Benue?
Yeah, Benue.
And stay there. He didn't do that, and he was still in his position. Unless we begin to do things right, for things to be right with us, things will not be right with us.
Well, let's move away from there. If you have just joined, I still have in the studio the Catholic Bishop of Ekiti Diocese, Most Reverend Felix Femi Ajakaye, and we are taking a look at some critical issues in the polity. Well, let's quickly talk about electoral reforms. One is somewhat confused. Many have said INEC should be blamed for the emergence of maybe bad leaders, as some have said the political parties are themselves culpable for fielding the wrong candidates. But the question would be, I want to merge two questions now. First, how do we sanitize the system so that the best persons can emerge? And again, I want to add, Christian participation in politics. At what level do you think Christians should get involved in politics?
Thank you, my brother. Who are those in INEC? And what is INEC? Independent National Electoral Commission.
Yeah.
When we say INEC independent. Is INEC independent at all? That body has to be independent both in nature and character. No matter who you put there, if there are landmines, and the landmines are still there, no matter who you put there, that body can never achieve its aim if it's not independent in nature and character. And the political parties too. There is no internal democracy. I've been saying it because of my understanding, making researches here and there. We are not operating democracy yet as it should be in Nigeria. Yes, we have civilians in government. But how far have we fared? How far have we fared? Because orientation begins with the inside, with one. Hence, I always say that for true success, attitude is as important as ability. It is the attitude that will propel the ability. And that's why the Bible itself says it is not what goes into a person that defines a person, but what comes out of a person. And Ken Norton, you may not know Ken Norton. Ken Norton was heavyweight boxer during the time of the legendary Muhammad Ali. He was also world heavyweight boxing champion. He said, the body achieves what the mind conceives. The body achieves what the mind conceives. If my mind, what comes to my mind is stealing, and stealing. Is what comes to my mind is wrongdoing and wrongdoing. That can never be right thing done. And I still say that it is always best to do things best, to do things best ways for us to have best results. We can never be doing the same thing and expect different results. But all of us, you and I, then all of us to come together. I will still explain to you why I've decided to be using that adage. It is not the day you insult Iroko that Iroko will fight. Before the end of this program, I will explain to you. We, the people, must stand up and own this country. We should take up the ownership. The country is not meant for just few people. And we have to do it in a way that oneness is strength, unity is strength. United we stand, divided we fall. It is when we, all of us too, that I decide not to sell my vote. I decide not to get money from any person, no matter the amount of money. Because this money will be spent, and that will be the end. And I will tell you the practical things that we need to be doing. Hence I said, it begins with oneself, with ourselves. Why should we make life difficult for ourselves? And before the end of the program too, I would conclude with Ubuntu philosophy. I pray I don't forget.
Maybe we should just delve into what you have said slightly before now, patriotism to the nation, and vis-a-vis the ethnic division that is being stoked on the social media and on the streets, getting alarming, even from sometimes political leaders, leaders of thought who should know better. Patriotism, how do we revive this spirit back to Nigerians? What should Nigerians do to see themselves as one?
Yeah, I missed out something that you said, Christian.
Yes, yeah, Christian involvement in politics.
Not really. I'm not into that. But those who regard politics as a dirty game, I totally disagree. Politics is not a dirty game, but there are some people who are dirty in a clean game. It's just like the game of football. The game of football is fantastic. I'm into it. I'm very much involved in the game of football. When you watch good football, you are fulfilled. But there are still some players in that game that they don't behave professionally. They behave like or as hooligans. Those ones cannot be mentors. And that is why the referees, though at times too, the officials, just like we are saying too, it is not, there is no perfection anywhere. We only try to be perfect. No perfection anywhere. So and that's why we have the red cards and the yellow cards given to errant, though at times misused. So mine is human being in politics. And that's why I'm praying for revolution in this country. And what is the revolution? Miracle of the heart. That I see you, my brother, my friend, that you are Ayedun. I see DJ Felix. I see him. When I see him, I just see God in him. That God has created him as he has created me in his own image and likeness. That's the revolution that I'm praying for. That when we begin to act this way, that I wouldn't ask you, have I ever asked you your religion?
No, not at all.
Have I ever asked you your ethnicity?
No.
Have I ever asked you your political background?
No.
That is the revolution that I'm praying for. So I'm not saying Muslim in politics, Christian in politics, traditionalist in politics. No, human being in politics. And it is from the home. Because many of those who are at the ends of affairs in this country have houses here and there, but they don't have a home. Home is different. When I tell you that I'm going home, that means, even if it's a room, and I've got a family of 7, that I'm going home, I'm happy going home. Not that I'm going to my house, I'm going to my home. But there are those who have mansions and they don't have peace of mind. So human being in politics, do unto others as you want to be done unto you. That's the golden rule. Then, the question, so even Christians, Muslims, once you are there, serve the people, because no condition is permanent, nothing lasts forever. Once again, to such people, it is not when you insult Iroko that Iroko will fight.
So the issue of patriotism.
Patriotism is just like one's home too, one's family. In the Catholic Church, we see the family as the domestic church and the first school. That's how we see the family. The domestic church and the first school. The family is very important because the church is the family of God united in faith, hope, and love. Just again, what I told you about revolution, miracle of the heart. That as members of the same family, it is very rare for a member of the family who knows what he or she is doing to want the destruction of his or her family or the downfall. No. And You know, in Ekiti state now, let me put Ekiti as the only state, I don't know any other state in the country that is homogeneous than Ekiti. Anywhere you go, Iye Ekiti, even Efala Iye Ekiti, Efala Iye Ekiti, and so on and so forth, Ekiti, Ekiti. And to me, the meaning of Ekiti is enlightened, knowledgeable, intelligent, tough. They say, Ekiti Lagidi, we are Agidi Lani, but we are stubbornly principled. We are tough people. Then industrious. But do we have those values anymore? Those values are going down, dwindling, but we still come back to it. So patriotism, they will say, I will read to you just briefly from this book, A Drop of Ink Can Make Million Think. How we need to build that love. Hence, I termed this year, every year, I give a theme. Last year was year of newness. That not those who say a new Nigeria, we need a new Nigeria, we need a new Ekiti state. No, it's the new Nigerian, new person. Nigeria has been created by God. Nigeria is Nigerians. Nigerians are Nigeria. So when you love your country, which is your mother, you love your mother. Look at what happened in the US now. What is happening now with President Donald J. Trump? Trump is really trumping them here and there now. But there are those who are now thinking, because people thought the Americans were smarter than this. They thought they were smarter than this, because to me, this may be the beginning of the fall of an empire with what is happening in America. You will say, God bless America. God bless America. Why don't we do the same thing? God bless Nigeria, instead of saying negative things about Nigeria. Personally, and I say it anywhere, I'm a stubborn, very stubborn optimist. Very stubborn. Because Winston Churchill says that a pessimist sees difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees opportunity in every difficulty. We are in difficult times in this country, but when you know the food, we have varieties of food in this country that will make us to be very proud. And the book of First Corinthians, that's Paul's letter to the Corinthians, chapter 12, that there are varieties of gifts. Then it goes further, the same chapter 12 goes further to say that the different parts of our body, they form one body. I will not say that it is not going to be eye. Without the eye, we cannot see. Then the nose too, and everything. So let us see ourselves as one. No matter where we come from, we are Nigerians. No matter where we come from, we are Nigerians. No matter where we come from, we are Ekitians. No matter where we come from, let us be proud of our home. And that's why you see me anywhere I go in the world, you will see my green, white, green. And you know, I don't know whether you know this song. Professor Wale Soyinka code then. I love my country, I no go lie. Na inside them I go live and die. I love my country, I no go lie. Na him and me go yap till I die. If he push me so, I push him so. He push me, I push him, I no go. I love this country. Learn to love your home. If you don't love your home, there are people, when they japa and they come back, they don't want to go back. I still spoke with two people, one in US, one in UK, in fact, one in Sweden, just yesterday. Home is sweet. How will I spend 40 million naira to japa? And now I get to where I get to, I'm suffering. And meanwhile, I took loans to japa. And I'm not solidly built where I am. whatever you will say, but come back home before you die, outside where you don't belong. I belong in this country, Nigeria. Things are tough, it is true. But in other places too, things are tougher in some places. But let us try to build our home together. And I always say that learn to be the difference and make the difference.
Well, that would lead me to the question of constitutional amendment. Many have said, well, that's what we need to address the challenges we have. Some have said, look, there is nothing wrong with the Constitution. The managers are those we should address. Where do you stand?
We've been, it's just like a vehicle. You keep on panabitting and panabitting and panabitting before you know it. This we Nigerians, I love Nigerians. I love Nigeria. I love Nigerians. We have very strong shock absorbers. Very strong. When the producers of Volvo vehicle, if they come to this country and they see how we have turned Volvo vehicle to, we are very ingenious. Let us use that ingenuity positively, concretely. Even, I said make the difference, even if it's little drops of ocean with the country. So we've been talking of review. We review. Yes, the Constitution was given to us by the military. It's a militarized Constitution. But the reality of the thing is that we have never been sincere with ourselves. Even those at the National Assembly, not all of them. There are still few people who love this country and they want this country to grow. But there are most of them who would like to enrich themselves, forgetting that no matter what happens, everything will be left. We will leave everything in this world. So what am I amassing wealth for? So, because who will be the operators of the Constitution? Is it not the same Nigeria? Are we not the same people? As I said, for true success, attitude is as important as ability. We need to have that orientation first. Orientation whereby a tanker falls, I won't go and swoop oil, forgetting that my life is at stake. Where would I go and swoop? Petrol? PMS? No. Premium motor spirit, highly inflammable, and I go there because let those people don't know. No. And we begin to blame the government. Where are the governments? The people get the type of government we deserve. So mine is, if we want to review the Constitution totally, because we have been, as I started with panabitting. So we have been doing that, reviewing the Constitution. How many years can we continue? How many years? So we need to come together and be sincere. Sincerity is the key word. Purposefulness. And let us talk positively about ourselves. No matter what happens, let us talk positively about ourselves. I'm not saying we should not criticize. We should criticize, but let us criticize in a way that we will offer solutions. And when these solutions are not being taken, wherever you are, wherever I am, let me use the solutions that I've preferred to work out what is best for my environment. It is then that Nigeria will grow. We cannot just say Nigeria is gone. Nigeria is not gone. If Nigeria is gone, we're all gone. If Nigeria has failed, we're all failed. If Nigeria falls, we have all fallen. That is my own take. And that is my own take. So, like minds, let us come together. The little we can do, let us do. Like personally now, for some years now, I've blacklisted some people. For Christmas, I will tell them in the bishop's house, or where those people meet with me, don't take gifts, Christmas gifts from this. I will give them the list, no matter who they are. I'm not hungry. If I'm hungry, I will come to Ayedun to see if I can have Gary and German stone. Do you know what is called German stone?
I guess kuli kuli.
Well done, kulai kulai. You call it in the truth. So, my brother, that is what we need to do. Let us make ourselves happy. When you make yourself happy, you make the other person happy. But remember, nothing lasts forever. No condition is permanent. It's the way I lay my bed that I lie on it. So, Constitution, let us review, not just review. We need total overhauling. It's just like a vehicle that the engine has knocked. Where you need the mechanic, the expert will tell you what you need. But we have been reviewing, beating this Constitution. And look at where we are. The operators are still the same, unfortunately.
Well, quite an interesting one here. I still have Most Reverend Felix Femi Ajakaye. Let's talk about artificial intelligence. You have expressed your concerns about artificial intelligence taking over human endeavors, but we also have those who are championing the cause, advocating use of artificial intelligence to make the job easier. What's your take? Why these concerns?
You know, artificial. What is artificial? The definition of artificial.
Man-made.
Not real. It's man-made. Human beings are behind this. Artificial. Okay, let me just... Made by people and used instead of something natural. Human influence, human action. What if you have an evil-minded person behind? So you don't take artificial intelligence, that's my own take, totally, completely. Because human beings are still behind. I keep on talking about Trump, because when you see Trump, people have been sent to their countries now, even handcuffed, as we learned. MAGA, make America great again. How long will they be there? 4 years. 4 years. But the people are ready. Okay, look at the one of birthright citizenship. Yes. Many states are going to court now. Because it's constitution. It's constitutional. 14th Amendment of the Constitution of the United States of America. And one man just comes and says he's going to do this, he's going to do that. If you allow that to happen, in fact, one of the members of the Republican Party has said that he hopes Trump will not change the constitution so that he will go for the third term. We have to be aware of all these things. It will make people lazier. Then, when you begin to believe it's artificial, it's just like makeup. Artificial. Something that is artificial to make it look like human being, not human beings. Nothing can replace human being. That's my one. I'm not saying that we should not explore, but we should explore positively what will help the human person. The beginner of this artificial intelligence was John McCarthy. He even gave the name artificial intelligence. I'm not saying, but there are certain things that human beings must be there. Nothing can replace human being. Nothing. Because human beings are still behind AI, artificial intelligence. And there will be certain, okay, if somebody, as I said, criminally minded, behind a particular machine, is what we call garbage in, garbage out. And people will not know. Falsehoods, there will be so many falsehoods. And that's why we need to be realistic and we need to be up and doing. Not to believe everything, hook, line, and sinker. That's my take. But artificial intelligence cannot replace the human person. No.
Well, if you have just joined us, it's issues, it's a prime discourse, and of course, it's the time for the listeners at home to probably ask one or two concerning what we are having here. Don't forget, I still have the Catholic Bishop of Ekiti Diocese, the Most Reverend Felix Femi Ajakaye, and being able to dissect a few of the issues here. But you want to ask a few questions, 0915 0905905, 0915 0905905, and the other line is 0704 1001905, 0704 1001905. Don't forget, we are live on Facebook at Midas Radio 905, at Midas Radio 905. You can also drop your comments on our WhatsApp line 0915 1905905, 0915 1905905. Those are the channels that you can use to join the conversation this morning. As we wind down now, I want us to talk about more of the societal issues. Over time, we have seen what you might want to call a moral decadence. Society, families, associations, and all. It does look like something is wrong. Is it a challenge of parenting? Is it a challenge of people who should be role models who are not doing their job? But before then, let's take this call. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Good morning to you.
Hello, my Lord Bishop.
Good morning, ma.
Regina Maria from Yaname.
Let's have you.
I thank God for the Bishop I'm having. An intelligent bishop. I am listening and learning. God bless you, my Lord Bishop.
Thank you.
God bless you too, man. And God bless Ekiti State. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you very much. The network was not too clear, but we could pick what you said. Well, moral decadence, my Lord Bishop. What are your takes? How do we begin to rebuild this from the families top, or the religious organizations, or the society? What needs to be done?
There is no straitjacket answer to this. But to say that again, we have to look inwards the attitude and I'm shocked when I hear certain things happening, even in Ekiti now. For some parents to be saying that the association of Yahoo parents, or where is your child? Your son is attending Yahoo school. We never had that in the past. What has come to this? And they will say it's economic. It's not economic. It's from within, attitude again. And if parents or guardians don't do what they should do at home, their children may not learn from outside too. May not. Because my belief is that one's life tends to be a reflection of one's background. Or one's background tends to be a reflection of one's life. And there is this saying, move with people who will better your life. That is, move with people who will make your life better.
I'm sorry, I need to cut in because of this call.
Yes.
I lost the call. Please go ahead, sir.
Move with people who will make your life better. No person is an island. I just told you about artificial intelligence, that there could be an evil person behind something, and that person will bring the evil thoughts to multiply. You don't multiply evil. In the past, when people like me were growing up, it was not only if I did something wrong, the people in the neighborhood, especially mothers, would not be happy with me. They would tell me. They might even tell my parents. But now, what do we have? Even in schools, parents, guardians, fighting teachers for making their children to be better. They will be fighting them. They will go to school and even fight them.
I need to pick this call. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
This is calling from Ekiti.
Let's
we greet our Lord Bishop. Since the caliber of you is not tired of talking about Nigeria issue, I think we, the follower, will not tire as well. But my question this morning is that our present government in Nigeria, they are saying that we should be calm, that things will be okay very soon. But instead of that, we are still experiencing, we don't even see the green light of seeing the benefits that they are promising us. If we continue to mention the examples of what we are expecting, let me just take like what we are using to talk now, the airtime. They said that they wanted to increase it. And I think this area which people, the populace, are supposed to be enjoying the dividends of democracy. Look at electricity bill. So when are we going to have it right? We say kakakosan lara ewe agbon only kokosini. So I want you to shed more light on it, sir. Although you have been saying it, but I still want you to emphasize on it, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, Ambassador Raphael Omotosho from Ikere. Thank you very much. You know, I've said it and I keep on saying it. It is not, you know, when people have been saying we should be patient, I said it should start from them. Even look at the number of ministers that we've got. And I have to be practical here now. The minister from Ekiti State, how many times have you seen him in Ekiti? How many times? He should be representing us. Most of those representing us in the Houses of Assembly, House of Assembly Ekiti State, House of Representatives, the Senate. How many times do we see them to engage with them? So mine is, instead of us to just be taught whatever we can do now, because there are those at the House of Affairs that there are those who seem to be, whether they don't hear or their ears have been blocked. Hence I say, what the little we can do, let us do. And this is why I've been saying, it is not when you insult Iroko that Iroko will fight. This is why I've been saying it, and I will let you know now.
Right.
Who are the Iroko? We the people. We the people. We've been told to be patient and be patient and be patient. Yes, we continue to be patient until we now act lovingly, to act practically, and tell the people, you know, when I'm talking about revolution, I'm talking of miracle of the heart that I've told you about. Because if you continue to listen to there may be depression. And I don't want people to be depressed unnecessarily. Let us make ourselves happy in spite of everything. Ours is we shall overcome. All this, I've been saying it, nothing lasts forever. Because if these people don't listen, how? Nemesis, I assure you, may catch up on them and it may be too late. Whatever one owns, whatever one has, there is time for everything. The book of Ecclesiastes tells us. Nobody is above the end. Nobody is above the end. And whatever happens, let us share whatever we have with ourselves. And that's why I want to give this Ubuntu philosophy. It's very brief. I'm an ardent promoter of Ubuntu philosophy because I believe in it. An anthropologist, the story goes, an anthropologist, that's an expert in human beings, put a basket of fruits in a place and told the African children to run, that the first to get to that basket of fruits will be the owner. But all the children held themselves and ran to the fruits. They got there and they began to eat the fruits. And the anthropologist, the expert, wondered why that could happen. And he asked them, why did you do all this? He just said, Ubuntu. How can one be enjoying while others are suffering? That is the mentality that we should look for in leadership, great leadership. So he said, how can one be happy while others are sad? They said, Ubuntu. And the meaning of Ubuntu is, I am because you are. You are because I am. Let us keep maintaining that. No person is an island. Those are the aims of our affairs today. Be good to those you meet on your way to the top. You may meet them while coming down. Thank you.
Your final thoughts on the issue of the decadence, and then maybe we'll take that as your closing remark. But before then, let me quickly take this caller. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Please go ahead.
You have from Adam.
Let's have you.
Great, my the bishop has said, 9.9% of everything that is done in this country.
Sorry.
But how can this our leaders hear from this?
Sorry about that. We couldn't hear.
Yes, when we keep on talking about our leaders, let the followers too. Let us talk about ourselves and like Iroko that we are, and plan to have quality leadership. To have quality leadership. And let us start from our home. And that's why I'm ending because of what, please, I told you, a drop of ink can make millions think, by Father James Valadares. He says, value has a value only if its value is valued. Value has a value only if its value is valued. In other words, my home has a value if I believe in my home. If I don't believe in myself, I don't have value. And this one chapter, just briefly.
Yes.
Not all that glitters is gold. Not all that glitters is gold. Where there is a will, there is a relative. A group of alumni, that's old students, highly established in their respective careers and financially wealthy, got together to greet their one-time university professor. Hear that, that professor had made positive impact in their lives, and they had become people in life. So they visited their old teacher, who had played a very significant role in their academic success. Conversation soon turned into complaints about stress in both work and life. It's a lesson for you and I. It's a lesson for we, the followers. Offering his guests coffee, the professor went into the kitchen and a few minutes later returned with a large pot of steamy hot coffee and an assortment of cups. Porcelain, plastic, glass, crystal, some plain looking, some expensive, and some exquisite. As he moved from one to the other, each alumnus made his or her own choice of the cups. Finally, the professor sat down and said to the alumni, I'm quoting the professor now, if you noticed, all the nice-looking expensive cups were taken up, leaving behind the plain and cheap ones, while it is normal for you to want only the best for yourselves. That is precisely the source of your problems and stress. Be assured that the cup itself adds nothing to the quality of the coffee. It has nothing it has no quality to the coffee. In most cases, it is just more expensive, and in some cases, even hides what we drink. What all of you really wanted was coffee, not the cup. But you consciously went for the best cups, and then you began eyeing each other's cups. You know, my Mercedes is bigger than yours. The alumni were visibly embarrassed. So the professor continued. Now consider this. Life is the coffee. The jobs, money, and position in society are the cups. They are just tools to hold and contain life. The type of cup we have does not define nor change the quality of the life we live. Sometimes, by concentrating only on the cup, we fail to enjoy the coffee. God has provided us. God brews the coffee, not the cups. Enjoy your coffee. The happiest people don't have the best of everything. They just make the best of everything. Please, Nigerians, fellow Nigerians, let us make the best of everything. Never give up on yourself. Never give up on God. Never give up on your home, on your family. I'm here now. The Kalidas of Ekiti is bereaved. But because I have to be here as a form of commitment, sacrifice, one of our sisters, Sister Victoria Dada, sister of St. Michael the Archangel, died last week. Another sister, Sister Mary Blessing, sister of Immaculate Heart of Mary, died yesterday night. And I was thinking, how would I do it? Would I come or would I not come? And the commitment, because Midas FM had been saying it, and now I'm here because of the grace of God. Ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run ọba ni, ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run ọba ni, ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run ọba ni, òun la máa rí lágbára Ọlọ́run.
All right, thank you very much indeed. It's been a swell time with you, indeed a journalist delight. Most Reverend Felix Femi Ajakaye, the Catholic Bishop of Ekiti Diocese. Thank you very much for your time on the show. I really hope that we'll do more of this in the future, and do have a great week ahead of you.
Thank you very much, and God bless Midas Radio. God bless Ekiti State, land of honor, land of integrity. God bless Nigeria, and may God make the world peaceful.
Thank you very much. Amen. Well, that's the size of the show. We'll return on Friday this week for another edition of Prime Discourse. Until then, Ayedun is my name. Bye for now.